Good morning. Hope you're well. Just going to swap these glasses over. Welcome. It is Wednesday morning. How are you doing? So this is my daily live where we go live and we just have a chat about different things about that might be impacting you. This is, I think, day 3. And you know what? I am an experienced speaker, but for some reason, I feel as if I'm starting school all over again. Anyway, how are you doing? I'm just going to make sure that on Facebook we are live because it tends to always go into a private setting on Facebook. So we're just going to make sure that it's in public. There you go. It always goes out to a limited audience. There we are. And there you are. Hi. Hello. Okay. So today we are talking about burnout. Burnout. Are you experiencing burnout? Do you find that you are literally just questioning yourself all the time because you're just thinking to yourself, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Like you can't seem to concentrate. Maybe you are maybe you're thinking to yourself, do you know what? I'm not getting what I need either from my profession or even from your personal life. It's like you're going out there and you're thinking, I have so many years to make this a success. I know that a lot of people my age are thinking that. You're going, right, okay, I have so many years, so I need to get this done. I need to create some form of a legacy. I need to make sure that I'm doing what I enjoy. And if you're stuck in a job that you don't enjoy, that's a problem. And also if you're stuck in a business that don't enjoy, that's a problem. And here's another thing as well. For those people that have businesses, a lot of business owners feel like it's a failure to say they no longer enjoy their businesses. And my advice to you is, if you're getting that inclination, seek guidance as soon as possible, because it could be a season that you're going through and the season will pass. Or it may be that this is something that's been brewing for a long time, you didn't realize, and it's time to make some changes. Never, ever let your shame affect your success. So we're going to talk about the betrayal. So you may feel that you are burned out, but the truth of the matter is that you're probably not burnt out. The truth of the matter is that you are probably experiencing a betrayal of self. What does that mean? So when you're put on this earth, God gives you a purpose. He gives you your intuition. He gives you your breath. And if those 3 things you're not able to actually achieve, then you're going to misconstrue that as burnout. What does that mean? So you're given a breath. So if you watch how a baby breathes, a baby uses its lungs to breathe deeply in and out. You can actually see the muscles of the baby moving as they breathe in and out. Now, if you take an adult and put them next to the baby, you can see that the adult breathes in a more shallow way. That's because we've experienced trauma, we've adapted beliefs of our own. We believe that there's a way to do things. We believe that we don't fit in. We believe that we're not good enough. There's all these different aspects of life that have impacted us and made our breathing shallow. But also, you get the aspect of intuition where we are being conditioned to be scared. Being conditioned to be scared. Everything out there right now is do this or buy this because you are going to experience X if you don't buy this. Everything is about fear. Nothing is about joy. Well, that's not true. Things are about joy, but fear overrides the joy when we are being sold to, when we're being seduced by society. We get told to worry about things. And I'm not saying that we're not meant to keep safe, but then people start getting scared of even making mistakes. A friend actually said to me yesterday, she was like, you like perfection. I was like, I promise you I don't. I don't like perfection. However, I want to make sure that what I put out there, people can understand. Because if people don't understand, then it makes me feel bad. That's a fear as well. So, what are you scared of? Are you scared of being seen to maybe not be the authentic self that you portray? Are you scared of having a business that you no longer love? Are you scared of being seen as somebody who's not achieving what they should be achieving? There used to be a time where, by the time you were 21, 25, they'd be looking at you saying, why are you not married? Why don't you have children? All those different aspects of your life. The pressure to be something that you're not. So it's no surprise that when you get into your business, your business, when you get into your hi, make sure you put a comment down. I can see some of you coming on. When you go into your business, when you go into your job, it's very easy for you to think to yourself, I'm not achieving what I'm here to achieve. And then start to feel stressed, start to feel anxious, start to experience what's that thing? Something syndrome, can't remember it now. You start to experience those imposter syndromes. You start to feel as if you don't fit in. You start to feel as if there's something wrong. You're okay, but you're experiencing a betrayal of your body. You're experiencing your body saying to you, do you know what? This is not what we're here to do. We're here to live on purpose. We're here to breathe properly. We're here to use our intuition. And right now, the head has been guiding everything. Whenever I work late and I want to go to bed and I'm like, God, I'm so tired. My mom always says to me, you can't cheat life. You can't cheat life. Life will always catch up with you. Your current existence right now is the price you're paying for the life that you played earlier on. It might be 6 months ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, but life will always catch up with you. So when you are sat in your job, whether you work for someone else or whether you work for yourself, and you are feeling that disconnect, it's because there is a betrayal of the body. Because deep down inside, your superconscious knows that you are here for more, that you are designed to create based on your alignment. And when you're misaligned, you don't recognize yourself anymore. You become very inauthentic. Maybe you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. Maybe you find yourself that you're lying all the time. You find that you mask the truth. You mask who you are. I remember years ago, I saw somebody who, in public, was very jovial and was smiling and literally all teeth. And then as soon as people walked away, their face dropped. And I'm talking, it was massive. It was a massive drop. I went to the physio yesterday and he pushed my shoulder down and it rushed and it came back up again. And I went, is that normal? And he said, well, it is normal because this is the world that we live in. But actually, your shoulder should be right there. Her face was up there, all stress and everything else, but she was masking it. It was like, well, nobody can see me to be like this, and maybe if people see me as I really am, maybe that will affect my status. So guess what? She masked herself, and she's not the only one. How many times have you walked into a meeting and masked yourself after an awful day? Now, I'm all for not taking your problems into work as much as possible. However, when masking becomes second nature, you need to start asking yourself, what needs to change? What needs to change? Yeah, because you cannot change, you cannot cheat life. If you are creating a life where performance is your go-to, so it's like, right, I'm going on stage, ta-da, then that will continue to deteriorate your existence. But also betraying your own boundaries. I was talking to someone yesterday and they explained their boundaries. And I was like, good for you. Good for you. And even we were having a chat and it was a negotiation. And she was like, well, actually, this is what I stand by. I was like, good for you. Because not everybody stands by their boundaries. We've all at some point, um, betrayed our boundaries. We've all at some point let our boundaries down. And boundaries isn't about, complete protection. It's about knowing who you are, who you are, and what do you stand for. And standing for something without it being a conflict, just knowing who you are, and it just is. Because once people know who you are, and this is about being integral in that space of who you are. It's not about saying who you are and then changing it whenever you want to and stuff. It's like, is this who you are, or do I have to get confused about who you are? But your soul will never lie. Your soul doesn't lie. So when your soul feels as if there's a misalignment, it will tell your body so. That's why we end up getting headaches and stomach aches. All the physical and emotional ailments are down to that misalignment. Yeah. God didn't give you a vision to just go and have fun and play around. You're being given a vision because you have a job to do. I did a video 2 days ago where I was being asked what inspired me to go into business, and my response was, I didn't have a choice. I did not have a choice. When my calling came, everything that um I deemed as important left me. The phone stopped ringing. The contracts started coming in. I had to go out there and help people with their lives. I had to go out there and help people to create projects of purpose so that they could fall in love with their lives again. Because when you do what you're meant to do on this earth, life becomes more aligned. And I can't say this more enough. This does not mean perfection. It means that you can weather the storms in a more sustainable manner, that you can weather the storms without sacrificing who you really are. How many of you know people who, when the tough gets going, they sacrifice their integrity, they sacrifice important relationships, they sacrifice who they are? When you're in your purpose, no matter how tough things get, you are stable. You weather the storm and you come out with a fuller essence of who you are rather than a depleted version. So as you go out today, I want you to acknowledge what's happening in your life. Are you experiencing conflict? Are you working with somebody you don't like? Have you been brought into a project that you don't agree with? Whatever that is, I encourage you to take a moment and ask yourself, is it in alignment with your purpose? Is it in alignment with what you're here to do? And rather than create the conflict within you, I want you to have a conversation with yourself. And I'm always here for you to talk to. I'm always here for you to reach out to. I'll be here tomorrow, so I'd love to know comments about what you think about the videos. I'm going to be here every day at 9:30. If you're watching this on replay, let us know as well. I know some of you are in meetings, but whatever that looks like, I want you to have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.